Stop scrolling for just 10 seconds. Because if you're over 60 or you love someone who is, what I'm about to tell you might be the most important thing you hear all year. There is a silent test. Doctors don't always mention it. Trainers rarely talk about it. But researchers who study aging say it predicts something terrifying. Whether you'll still be walking on your own 2 feet 5 years from now, or whether you'll be in a wheelchair, a hospital bed, or worse. The test is simple. Can you stand up from a chair without using your hands 10 times in 30 seconds? Try to picture it right now. Could you do it? Are you sure? Millions of people over 60 walk every single day, rain or shine, faithfully. And they believe they've been told that walking alone is enough to keep them strong, steady, and independent as they age. They are wrong. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why, and exactly what to do instead, starting today, without a gym, without equipment, without spending a single rupee or dollar. Stay with me until the end, because I'm also going to reveal the one mistake almost every senior makes with this exercise, a mistake that quietly wastes months of effort, and how 30 seconds a day could be the difference between aging with strength or aging with fear. Let's begin. Welcome back, my friend. If this is your first time here, this channel exists for one reason: to give people over 50 simple, honest, science-backed ways to stay strong, energetic, and independent for as long as possible. No gimmicks, no miracle pills, just real information that actually works. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. You are part of a community that refuses to accept that getting older means getting weaker. Today's topic might be the single most important one we've ever covered. So please, don't just have this playing in the background. Sit with me for the next 20-some minutes, because what you learn today could quite literally change how the rest of your life unfolds. The problem, let me ask you something honestly. Do you walk every day and yet still feel like your legs are tired by evening? Do you still feel unsteady on stairs? Do you sometimes catch yourself pushing off the armrest just to stand up and wonder, quietly, when that started happening? If so, you are far from alone. Millions of people walk faithfully for years and are still surprised by how weak their legs feel, how shaky their balance is, how quickly they get winded. Here's why. Walking is what's called a forward-only movement. It uses the same narrow set of muscles, over and over, in the same pattern, at roughly the same intensity, every single time. Your body is remarkably efficient, and once it adapts to a repetitive motion, it stops working hard at it. Walking becomes easier over months and years, not because you're getting stronger, but because your body has learned to do it with less and less effort. Meanwhile, something else is happening in the background, something most people never hear about from their doctor until it's already a problem. After the age of 60, the human body begins losing muscle mass faster than it can rebuild it, unless that muscle is deliberately, regularly challenged. This condition even has a medical name, sarcopenia. And muscle isn't just about looking fit. Muscle is what keeps your blood sugar stable. Muscle protects your joints like a natural cushion. Muscle supports your bones and prevents fractures. Muscle is what allows you to catch yourself before a fall instead of hitting the ground. Here is a fact that ought to be shouted from every rooftop, and yet almost nobody talks about it. The single strongest predictor of whether you'll be living independently in your 70s, 80s, and beyond isn't your weight. It isn't your cholesterol number. It isn't even your daily step count. It's leg strength. It's balance. And it's how quickly and confidently you can go from sitting to standing. So what is this one movement, this exercise that quietly outperforms walking for building real, functional, life-protecting strength? It's something you already do every day without thinking about it. You just don't do it the right way, on purpose, with intention. It's the sit to stand, or, as most people call it, the chair squat. Yes, simply standing up from a chair and sitting back down, done correctly and with control, may be one of the most powerful exercises available to anyone over 60. It sounds almost too ordinary to matter, but don't let the simplicity fool you. This single movement activates nearly every major muscle group you rely on for daily life. Your thighs, your hips, your glutes, your core, and your lower back. These are precisely the muscles that let you climb stairs without gripping the railing for dear life, lift a bag of groceries, get out of bed in the morning, and, most importantly, catch your balance instead of falling when you stumble. Here's the physics of it, and it's worth understanding, because once you see it, you'll never look at a simple chair the same way again. Every time you rise from a seated position, you are lifting nearly your entire body weight straight up against gravity. That is genuine strength training, the same principle behind lifting weights at a gym, just using your own body as a resistance. Walking, by contrast, never asks that much of you at once. One foot is always in contact with the ground, sharing the load. That's precisely why someone can walk 3 miles a day, year after year, and still struggle to rise from a low chair without help. It isn't laziness. It isn't a failure of willpower. It's simply that walking was never designed to build the specific strength your body needs for the rest of daily life. Safety reassurance. Now, if part of you just thought, that's not for me, my knees won't allow it, or I'm too unsteady for that, take a breath. I want to reassure you. The sit-to-stand movement is considered one of the safest exercises available for older adults when done correctly. In fact, physical therapists around the world use this exact movement as a foundation for rehabilitation programs, fall prevention training, and mobility recovery. It's often one of the very first exercises prescribed after a hip replacement, a hospital stay, or a long period of inactivity. Why is it so safe? Because you control everything. You control how deep you go. You control your speed. And this is the key part. You always have a solid chair right behind you, ready to catch you if needed. It meets your body exactly where it is today, not where it used to be 20 years ago. How to do IT, step by step. Let's walk through exactly how to do this safely, step by step. First, choose a sturdy chair, something that won't slide or wobble. A dining chair against a wall works beautifully. Avoid anything with wheels. Sit toward the front edge of the chair, feet flat on the floor, positioned roughly shoulder width apart. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders relaxed. Look forward, not down at the floor. Lean your torso forward slightly from your hips, just a small hinge, enough to shift your weight over your feet. Now, press firmly through your heels and rise slowly to standing. Avoid any sudden jerking or momentum. This should feel controlled, almost slow motion. At the top, stand tall. Keep a very slight, gentle bend in your knees. Never lock them completely. Then, reverse the movement. Slowly bend at your hips and knees, lowering yourself back down with control until you lightly touch the seat of the chair. That's one full repetition. If you need extra support in the beginning, rest your hands lightly on the armrests or your thighs. As you grow stronger over the coming weeks, try crossing your arms over your chest instead, relying purely on your legs. The 30-second test. Here's something remarkable that researchers have discovered. The number of times an older adult can rise from a chair in just 30 seconds correlates strongly with how long they live, how often they fall, and how independently they're able to function in daily life. In other words, this modest little movement may reflect your true biological age more honestly than many medical tests you'll ever take. That's how significant this simple exercise really is. Beyond the legs, whole body benefits. But the benefits of this movement don't stop at your legs. Perform consistently. Sit-to-stands elevate your heart rate, improve circulation, boost oxygen delivery throughout your body, and sharpen your metabolism. That translates into more stamina, more steady energy throughout your day, and a stronger cardiovascular system than walking alone typically provides. You're not simply toning muscle. You're reinforcing your entire physiological system. There's also a fascinating biochemical piece to this story. When your muscles are meaningfully challenged, the way they are during a sit-to-stand, your body releases signaling molecules called myokines. Think of them as tiny chemical messengers that travel through your bloodstream, helping to calm inflammation, improve how your body handles blood sugar, support brain function, and offer protection against a range of age-related conditions. Walking triggers a mild version of this response. Resistance-style movements like the chair squat trigger it far more powerfully. Balance and the fear of falling. Now let's talk about something that touches nearly every family with an aging parent, grandparent, or spouse. Falling. A single fall can permanently alter someone's life. It can mean the end of independent living. And here's the quiet, painful cycle that so often leads there. As people age, many begin to feel a little unsteady, so they instinctively move less. Moving less causes muscles to weaken further. Weaker muscles make falling more likely. And so the cycle deepens, fall after close call, until independence is lost entirely. The sit-to-stand movement directly interrupts this cycle. Every repetition trains your balance, your coordination, and your body's ability to stabilize itself under real, everyday conditions, because that's exactly what it simulates. Each time you rise and sit with control, you're teaching your nervous system, your muscles, and your joints to work together to keep you upright. That training carries directly into real life. recover your footing on uneven pavement, catch yourself on a wet floor, standing steady while reaching for something on a high shelf. How often? How many? So how many repetitions should you start with? And how often should you practice this? Start wherever your body allows, safely and without pain. For some people, that's 5 repetitions. For others, 10 or 15 feels comfortable right away. There's no universal number. What matters is that you feel your muscles working without any sharp pain in your joints. Aim to practice this once daily, or at minimum 3 to 4 times per week. As weeks pass and your strength builds, you can gradually add repetitions or slow the movement down to make each one more demanding. I want to share something that continues to move me every time I witness it. I have seen people in their 70s and 80s who, at first, could barely rise from a chair without using both hands and considerable effort. Within just a few weeks of practicing the single movement consistently, they were standing smoothly, walking with visibly more confidence, and describing themselves as feeling years younger in their own bodies. This isn't about becoming an athlete. This is about protecting your freedom, your ability to live life on your own terms, in your own home, for as long as possible. Walking still matters. To be clear, walking still deserves a place in your routine. It remains wonderful for your mood, your circulation, and gentle cardiovascular conditioning. Nobody is telling you to stop walking. But if walking is the only thing you're doing, you may be missing the single most critical piece of healthy aging: strength. Without strength, everyday movement becomes harder. Without strength, balance erodes. Without strength, independence slowly slips away, often so gradually that you don't notice until it's already gone. That is precisely why this one modest, humble exercise outperforms walking alone for people over 60. Safety disclaimer. Now, let's be responsible here for a moment, because your safety always comes first. If you have significant joint pain, have recently had surgery, or manage a serious medical condition, please speak with your doctor or physical therapist before beginning any new exercise routine. Everybody's body carries a different history, and that history deserves respect. A general rule to remember: mild muscle fatigue after exercise is normal and expected. Sharp pain is not, and is always a signal to stop and check in with a professional. What's coming mid-video hook? In the next part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make this movement even more effective using small, simple variations you can do right at home. I'll also show you how to combine it with walking for the best possible results, and how just 5 minutes a day could noticeably change how your body feels within 30 days. Before we continue, if this is helping you already, take 1 second to tap that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach other people who need to hear this message. And if you'd like more simple, honest guidance for aging strong, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss a new video. Now take a breath with me. Relax your shoulders. And remember this: your age does not define your strength. Your past does not limit what your body can still become. The science of why it works. Let's go a little deeper, because understanding why this works will help you stay motivated when progress feels slow. After 60, the body changes in specific, well-documented ways. Hormone levels shift gradually. Nerve signals slow down slightly. Muscle fibers begin to shrink if they aren't regularly challenged. None of this reflects failure on your part. It's simply biology doing what biology does. But here's the truth that deserves far more attention than it gets. Your body still responds to strength training at 60, 70, even 80, almost as powerfully as it did decades earlier. The response may arrive a little more slowly, but it absolutely still arrives. Every time you lower yourself down under control and press back up to standing, you send a clear biological signal through your muscles and nervous system. We still need strength here. We still need power. We still need coordination. And remarkably, your body listens. It responds by rebuilding muscle fibers, strengthening the communication pathways between nerves and muscles, and improving how your joints move together. Walking, unfortunately, simply doesn't send that same strength-building signal with enough intensity to produce this kind of adaptation. Imagine the outcome. Take a moment and picture this. Imagine waking up and rising from bed without that familiar morning stiffness. Imagine standing from a chair without needing to push off with your hand. Imagine climbing a flight of stairs without holding your breath or gripping the railing out of fear. These aren't fantasies reserved for the young. They're the direct, measurable result of building a little more strength in your legs, hips, and core, and this single movement trains all of it at once in the most practical way possible. Progressing the exercise. After a few weeks, Once the basic movement feels comfortable, here's how to make it more challenging, still without any equipment. First, slow down the lowering phase. Instead of sitting down at a normal pace, count slowly, 1, 2, 3, as you lower yourself. This controlled, extended lowering phase creates a much stronger stimulus for building muscle and improving joint control, while remaining just as safe. Second, try pausing for a single second just above the seat before sitting down fully. That brief pause forces your muscles to work considerably harder to stabilize your body. It's a small adjustment, but over time, small adjustments compound into real, visible change. Habit stacking. One of the simplest ways to make this stick is to attach it to something you already do every day. Do a set of sit-to-stands right before breakfast, or while the kettle is boiling, or during a commercial break while watching television. When an exercise becomes woven into your existing routine, rather than something separate you have to remember, it stops feeling like a chore, and that's exactly when it becomes permanent. The emotional dimension. There's also a deeper, quieter benefit to all of this that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. As people age, many notice, often without fully realizing it, that their world slowly begins to shrink. Certain activities start to feel too difficult. Certain places start to feel too far. Life, piece by piece, becomes smaller. Regaining physical strength reverses that shrinking. When your body feels capable again, something shifts in your mind too. You feel more willing to go out, to visit people, to travel, to try new things. Physical strength and emotional confidence are deeply, genuinely connected. And that connection is one of the most underrated rewards of this simple habit. Combining with walking. Let's bring walking back into the conversation. Properly this time. Walking remains excellent for your heart, your circulation, and your mental clarity. But it should support your strength training, not replace it entirely. Think of it this way. Walking nourishes your heart. Chair squats nourish your muscles and bones. Together, they form a complete, balanced approach to aging well. If you're already walking daily, wonderful. Simply add a short set of sit-to-stands before or after your walk, and within a matter of weeks, you'll likely notice the difference. Steadier steps, less fatigue when standing for long periods, and a quiet, new confidence in how your body moves. Closing motivation. I want to remind you, gently but firmly, you are not broken. You are not fragile. You are not too old for this. Your body remains remarkably adaptive. It wants to heal. It wants to grow stronger, but it can only respond to the signals you give it. And this one simple daily movement tells your body, unmistakably, that strength is still needed and still very much possible. If you've tried exercise before and it didn't stick, because of pain, because life got busy, because motivation faded, none of that matters anymore. What matters is your very next step. And that step doesn't need to be dramatic. It can be as simple as standing up from a chair 5 times a day, with care and full attention. Real progress rarely comes from big, dramatic action. It comes from small, quiet decisions, repeated consistently, day after day. As you continue this practice, you may notice subtle shifts before you notice big ones. Slightly steadier steps, less reaching for furniture to catch your balance, a little less exhaustion by the end of the day. These small signs matter. They're the early evidence that your body is responding and rebuilding. Final call to action. In an upcoming video, I'll walk you through how to turn this single movement into a complete 5-minute daily routine targeting your legs, hips, and balance without ever needing to get down on the floor. I'll also reveal the one common mistake that quietly causes many people to waste weeks of effort and exactly how to avoid it. But before we get there, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments, tell me your age and whether strength exercises are already part of your routine or whether walking has been your main form of movement so far. I read every comment, and they genuinely shape what we cover next on this channel. If this video gave you a new perspective on your own strength and your own potential, please take a moment to like it. It helps this message reach others who need to hear it too. And if you'd like more simple, honest guidance for aging strong, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. One more deep breath. Relax your jaw. Drop your shoulders. You are doing better than you think. And it is never, ever too late to become stronger than you were yesterday.